Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal with the top and bottom comics of the week for October 18th, 2022. So I hope you stick around and enjoy the show. All right, guys, I have my papers here as usual with my notes. I will say ahead of time, just so as a precursor, I didn't get to read quite as much. I just didn't have time. It's been a busy week. I still plan on reading Nightwing, The Flash, and G.I. Joe Real American Hero this week, so I haven't gotten to those. And just as usual, after you hear these and go through them with me, let me know what you think I should have read, or you're glad I avoided, or whatever. I do like these to be like a conversational kind of video, like a group of friends sitting around the table just sharing their thoughts, and that's what I like to have with these. So anyway, we'll start with my top. I think I want to do top, middle, and then bottom this week. It was a real high highs and low lows in this one. It was a pretty good mix. So my number 3 on the top was Moon Knight, number 16, with a 7.4 score. I thought it was a solid story. It has some brutal fights in it too, really good brutal ones. Decent art. I wouldn't like this art style for a lot of other series. For some reason, Moon Knight, this art style I think works for me. I just tend to like it. And this series has been pretty darn solid all the way through so far up to issue 16. So if you haven't been reading it, you might want to go and check it out. I think it's definitely worth it. Once again, a 7.4 out of 10. For those of you who are really not understanding my system here, I use sort of more of a scholastic system where a 7 is average and 10 is absolutely phenomenal. So bear that in mind. So my number 2 is the Batman Superman World's Finest, number 8. And I gave this, you ready? An 8.7. Yeah, that is a really high score for me. I don't give out too many in that range. Solid art in this issue. Absolutely great story. It's interesting. It has good pacing, and it leaves you wanting more. That's usually a sign of a great comic. You enjoyed the whole ride, but you're like, oh, I want to read the next one. This does it. And, it also has really good characterization. This is probably the best issue of Batman Superman World's Finest so far. So that's World's Finest, number 8. 8.7 out of 10. Wow. Who would ever thought I'd be saying that about this series? This just continues to be good. All right, here we go. My number 1. Are you ready? I can't believe this, because I've read a few out of this one-shot kind of series they're throwing out there, and I haven't been a big fan. But it's the Batman One Bad Day Penguin one-shot. I really, for some reason, like this. I know this might be a controversial pick here. I gave it an 8.9 out of 10. Yeah, for some reason, once again, I think it's the best out of the one-shots of the One Bad Day. I thought the art was solid, and I really like the characterization of the Penguin in this, and the characters it utilizes, and gives some of other people's views, and talking to the Penguin, sort of like, okay, you're not a threat, so now I can tell you what I really think of you kind of thing. It's just really a good issue. I, for some reason, really liked it, and I think if you're going to pick up a one-shot, this is a good one. 8.9 out of 10? Wow, really did like it. All right, so now I'm going to go into the middle of the pack, and then we're going to go to the crap, the cream of the crap. Okay, there is some really bad in there too, just for the record. So once again, we're going to hit the middle. So I'm going to go with, ready for this? For the middle, we're going to go with, I got to change my page of notes here. Here we go. Avengers number 61 with a 7.08 out of 10. Is it just me, or is creating so many variants of characters tends to remove what makes those characters good in the first place? I just don't like seeing these zillion variants. I know it's the popular thing with multiverses and all that crap right now. I don't get it. I mean, I see they can craft an interesting story sometimes, but once again, they're sort of like diluting the pool here, if you will. And, well, the story was well written, but it's predictable. I didn't see anything, wow, I didn't see that coming kind of thing. You can definitely see where the story arc is going here, and the art was decent. So once again, 7.08 out of 10, middle of the pack. Another one, Captain America, Symbol of Truth, number 6 with a 7.07 out of 10. It's fast-paced, and, it's interesting. It's a pretty interesting issue. The art was solid in it. And it's nice seeing the title character, the main character, fail, rather than having it be a Mary Sue kind of character, or a token character. Because right now for Marvel and DC, it's almost like the token character or the female character can never do any wrong. It's nice to see that this being what we consider a minority character did actually mess up and fail. And it made it good. Once again, I'm a Falcon fan. I'm a fan of Sam Wilson. I'd rather him be Falcon, but they've been doing pretty good here. All right, my next one. Oop, got to skip that one. That's for my bottom of my list. Moving to my notes here. Okay, here we go. Are we ready? Here we are. The next one is, let's do it ASMR, right? DC versus Vampires, All Out War. Once again, that's DC versus Vampires, All Out War, number 4 of 6. Okay, that's enough of that crap. It was a 7.3 out of 10. I thought the art was a mixed bag overall in this issue. The story was fast-paced and good, and it's been an interesting series so far. I've been enjoying it. 7.3 out of 10. I think this is a good one to pick up. Next one was Deceased, War of the Gods, number 3 of 8 with a 7.2 out of 10. Solid story, decent art. And this is a nice spin with some dark, grim elements in it. I've been enjoying this series as well. This is one that might be good to wait for trade. So far, it's holding up. Hopefully, it continues to be that way. And the next one. This one, pretty surprising to me here. And it came close to making the top 3. And it's Flashpoint number 6 of 6. The ending of this miniseries with a 7.1 out of 10. I thought this was one of the weaker issues, actually, of the series, but it was good. I don't want to spoil the story, so I'm not going to say anything about it, but I did enjoy it. The art has been decent throughout the whole series, and I think this would be a really good book to get in trade. So if you haven't been getting into it, I would pick it up in trade when it comes out. Most likely will come out in trade, and get it that way and save a few bucks and enjoy the story. All right. Now we're getting ready to get into the nitty-gritty, the bottom 3 of the bunch. Before I do, I want to take a moment really quick and say thank you to these people here. Without them, this channel would not be possible. They help support the channel through Patreon or Subscribestar, and so can you, where you get additional benefits, special videos, and other inside things, and sometimes I just randomly give stuff away too. So hey, be there for that. All kinds of stuff there. I hope you check it out. Even you can help us out with merch. We have that. Or a one-time donation if you just like what we do here. The channel has been picking up a little bit of steam and growth. We were pretty stagnant for a while, but lately some people have been spreading the word. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate that. All right, now it's time to get to the bottom. Oh boy, here we go. And actually, the first 2 in the bottom aren't that bad. And so the first one I'm going to go to with the bottom is the number 3 at the bottom, and that's Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings, number 4 with a 7.01 out of 10. The art lacks detail, though I think it got better as the pages went, which I don't know why, but if you look at the first few pages, it's like facial details are missing and things like that. Just didn't really hold up very good. And then it did show some improvement throughout. The action was all throughout the issue. Lots of action. And it has a decent story, but nothing really revolutionary or something we haven't read before. So really, makes sense. Falls at a 7.01, really in the average bin. Not bad. Now the next one was Black Adam number 5. That's my number 2 pick for the bottom. Black Adam number 5, which, believe it or not, still not a terrible score with a score of 7. Yeah. So let's talk about, first of all, I was not a fan of the cover. Did not like the cover of this issue at all. The interior art was much better. I thought the interior art was solid. It's a decent issue. It just, I don't know. It looks like every DC book has to have Batman in it now to get a sale. So we have to have Batman in this too. Okay. It's sort of nice to see that, hey, I'm watching you kind of thing. But once again, do we have to have Batman in every book? I like Batman, but we're going to get Batman burnout if we're not careful. That's what I fear here. So once again, a 7. Nothing super spectacular. Now, this next issue, my number 1 for the bad, this one deserves to be burned. This is a slap in the face to all readers, and this is Dark Crisis Young Justice number 5 of 6, where I gave this a 3. This is my lowest score ever on this channel, a 3 out of 10. This is one you should stay away from at all costs. It's darn right insulting to the readers. This is a smack in your face. This is DC hiring somebody to smack the very fans of the comic series in the face. This story is so on the nose with personal viewpoints that it is ridiculous. This is a classic case of the writer pushing their view over the story at the story's expense, but with another twist. It is so bad that the whole story was based on the writer's viewpoint to begin with. Really, this is a way for this writer to give the long-term fans the middle finger, saying, screw all you long-term fans, you don't matter. DC should be ashamed to be printing this book. This should have never been hitting the shelves. This is a book that if you put it with the rest of the books, all the other books are going to start growing mold and getting bad, because this is absolute garbage. This book is so bad that reading this is like having sandpaper ran up your pee hole. This is absolute garbage. And I'm a fan of these characters. I've read the Young Justice series in the past. This is just, you know what? The only thing to be happy about is that this is only a 6-issue miniseries, and that is 6 issues too long. This series has had too many smacks in the face. It had a glimmer of hope for just a little bit, and they dropped the ball again. It's like they just took this and said, here you go, fans, stick it. This is the FU. And I say, no. This is a piece of garbage. This comic book will be used again if there's a toilet paper crisis. Actually, I don't even think it'll last that long. This winter might be a little cold with fuel prices going up, right? It might be a good one to burn for heat. But be careful, the flames might even stay away from this piece of trash. Ooh, this book was awful in every regard, just not good. Well, there you have it. Bit of a rant there. My top, my bottom, and the books in between. You know, I would love to hear your thoughts on Dark Crisis Young Justice. Did you think it was as bad and offensive, or am I just an old man yelling at the clouds? Because, yeah, I guess I'm pretty old. I mean, at my age, yeah, I'm considered old. I get it. But as somebody that's been reading comics for decades, for like 4 decades, and then some years, this was just, unforgivable. Well, anyway, thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until next time, everybody, keep it frugal.